Welcome to Tiger Wolf. I'm Josh, and this is David.
Please be aware, this podcast contains strong language and spoilers. So, Josh, let's make a movie.
Oh, God. What kind of movie?
Zombies.
Of course. So we're doing a played-out movie before it even gets created. Okay.
Look, by the time we have enough money if we ever have enough money to make the movie, it'll be back in, upswing. Zombies, I mean.
So when our great-great-great-grandchildren have enough money to make a movie, you think they're going to make this one?
I mean, stranger things have happened.
Yes, twice. There's 2 seasons of it.
Exactly.
Anyway, what can we do for this in order to spice it up a bit then? What are your thoughts here? I assume you have some sort of baseline.
Yeah. Set in medieval times.
Medieval or fantasy medieval?
I think medieval would be more interesting, but that also kind of limits how it happens.
So, lighter fantasy than Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Like, stretch of your imagination more than magic?
Yeah. No, dragons or ice zombies.
I don't know, man. I remember fighting a zombie dragon as a little whelp and a guardian, and it was a pretty intense fight.
That's fair.
I love Breath of Fire 3.
We both do. Had a really fun fishing mini game.
That's one of the few games we actually had the book for.
And still, I don't think either of us beat it.
I think I still have it somewhere.
You did, but
I think it's in my storage stuff at my parents'. Anyway, so what are you thinking? So not necromancer.
No.
And excuse us, we do seem to have a couple colds, so we may be coughing and sniffling a bit.
We won't sound any worse than we normally do.
Well, now the audio quality of our voices is probably going to deteriorate as well as what we're saying.
Oh, damn. You're right. Fuck. Okay, to be fair, I've had this cold for like 2 weeks now. So
I think that means you're going to die.
That'll be okay. So, like a plague doctor or an alchemist.
Like a plague. Why would a plague doctor make a virus?
I didn't say they did intentionally. They could be doing research, trying to understand death better, and I don't know, accidentally make undeath.
What if they're just trying to understand life better? If we go to alchemist, we can do. He's in pursuit of the philosopher's stone.
Okay, yeah,
which is life related.
Yeah, and then subsequently, probably to make himself rich, turning lead into gold, but.
Okay. All right. So let's keep on the alchemy track here. I like this. So he's not doing it intentionally.
No.
So how do we make zombies from that unintentional, like runoff of the chemicals?
Like a chemical runoff, maybe, or I mean, it seems extremely tropish if he's got like a test rat or something and it escapes. I don't really like that idea. But I think like the runoff.
So you don't want it to be like a plague rat thing is what starts.
Yeah, no. I don't I think that's a bit too tropish.
So the runoff has to be going somewhere. Obvious solution here is water supply.
Yeah, some sort of local water supply or
all right.
Maybe a river, underground reservoir.
I don't imagine his runoff. It would be directed towards the village right outside the castle, right? Right. That doesn't.
Well, where's he?
I assume he's like the
castle alchemist.
Yeah.
I know there's a word for it. I just can't think of it.
The castle kissed.
Okay.
The royal alchemist.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, I don't know if like he could be like a duchess alchemist, like a duke, not duchess, dukes.
It could be a duchess's alchemist.
Well, yes, but the way I said that was as Dutch as the core word with apostrophe S off of that.
Oh,
That's why I was like a
Okay.
Duke.
okay. I was thinking the Duchess because he may be
Mm.
telling her
Mm.
he's trying to find a way to keep her eternally beautiful.
Or maybe her husband's really sick.
True.
And really, the husband's really sick because of the alchemist. We're not saying he's a good guy, like a hapless alchemist.
No, he's
Okay.
he's got some
So then this runoff has probably been happening for some time.
more than likely.
So what's the tie that breaks? I messed that up.
Yeah, you did. Damn it.
What's the tie that makes the devil's knot here? What's the last thing? What is he like? Arguably, at a stretch of imagination, like what's the legendary plant that he found that he's distilled into something or something like that?
I don't really want to blame this plant, but we could probably make it be some weird, rare form of a nightshade.
Tomatoes are nightshades.
Tomatoes are nightshade. Peppers are nightshade.
Yes.
Wolfsbane, I believe, is a nightshade.
I knew you were going to say nightshade. I don't want to go nightshade.
You don't want to go nightshade?
No.
Initial thought was wolfsbane, but I'm like, I don't want to do that. I like that plant. So
Let's do. How about something like a mutation of a regular flower? So like a silver lavender, which is a weird sentence because it's two colors put together. But
I know what you mean. Instead of it being the light purple to dark purple, it's a silver tint to the plant.
right, not white, but like it's got like a glossy green to it,
a glistening
and it's kind of
color.
like a gray,
like a slate gray with like a gloss or glisten to it.
like an albino bear's been pooping next to it for too long. I don't know, man. I'm just making shit up.
And I kind of like the idea of the silver because isn't lavender typically used for like stress relief and
Yes.
Okay.
So you think it's solidly ironic enough?
Yeah. Solidly ironic enough sounds good.
Okay.
So we've got an alchemist
Silver lavender.
who finds himself some silver lavender.
More than likely, somebody else found him some silver lavender. He
Yeah.
was like, "Sir, I've never seen a plant like this." And he was like,
Ooh.
"No, he wants to sound like he knows things and whatnot." So he's just like, "I have, and it's worth a mere 2 coins." And then he gets back in his room and he's just like, "What the fuck is this?
What are you?
I'm going to make you
Something.
life."
You are gonna help me. I don't know how yet, but it's gonna happen.
All right, so here's back to our runoff then. I think it should be like the water that goes through the castle village is incoming to the castle, and then the runoff. So it just ends up in like some farm village way down the way or something like that.
Okay.
It
Now,
just makes the most sense to
Does
me
this runoff
because castle
affect
runoff is going to be
animals?
like the sewage and stuff too, potentially.
Does it affect animals?
I don't know.
Like,
Does it?
are we gonna see like?
I was about to ask, like, how
a
is this
deer.
starting? Is it just people drinking it and then like they go through like a week of incubation of whatever this is, and then they become zombies, or is it like their graveyards too close to the runoff river and the dead rise?
That's super cheesy. I really don't like
It
that.
is super cheesy, but like.
It makes
But hold on,
more
listen.
sense.
Listen. I think I have a really good, creepy way to make that work.
Okay.
We don't show them coming out of the graveyard.
Okay.
I mean, that was basically it. No, I'm just kidding. There was so like the first attack is just like all they're gonna see is a person figure or whatever. Like the fucking candles hardly do any light, right?
Someone's grandfather.
So it'll happen like at night, potentially, because let's set a horror thing at night because why not? Just so then it's a silhouette, right? So that they can't make out that it's not a living person. And even if they like, because if it came out of the graveyard, it might be missing some parts,
yeah.
right? So we could do that creepy. It could even be like one of those things where like I'm thinking, hold on. Where like it doesn't like immediately attack people or whatever. It's just it wanders
Shambling.
around. Right, but it's in like the shitty part of the village, whatever. I mean, this is a small village already, right?
Yeah, it would assumptively be
It's a village,
small
though. It's not. No, I'd say we'll do
It's probably
small to moderate sized village, not like a hamlet or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like we're looking at
500-600 people at most.
I
Like,
was gonna
that's the
say
high
I was gonna
end?
say fewer than that. I
I'm
was
saying
gonna say
that's high end. It's
I
like,
was gonna say probably like maybe 150, 200.
Yeah.
Like we're looking at like what 15 households.
probably give or take.
Not
15 to
including
20?
the ones that are out on the farms. So this is like where the farmers.
Where the market and
Well, not necessarily what a market is, but like this is the farmer's hometown, like type of thing. Like this is where they go. Well, yeah, for the market, for them to get their supplies.
yeah, it's like
Not for necessarily where they're sell, because they'll probably go to Castletown to sell,
yeah,
as well as here because
they'd sell a
They're
little
the
here
locals.
and then go up to the castle.
right, because they can make more money in the Castletown.
Yeah,
All right, I like this. And so it's just kind of shambling around. It could be shambling around in like alleyways for like a whole day.
yeah,
Like if we say it's just one, and then like slowly more will come, and eventually somebody's going to end up getting attacked by one.
yeah. Like, people might see it and be like, he's drunk, and just avoid
And,
him.
do you think like the longer they've been dead, the harder it is for them to be revitalized, and that's why it takes longer for the other ones? So the first one up is somebody who died
Like recent.
like within the last month, so he's mostly together,
Yeah.
and people are just like,
Is he drunk?
right? They're basically just thinking it's some drunkard or whatever. They can't recognize him necessarily to know that that's Frank who just died this month.
Wait, isn't that okay? Yeah.
See what I mean? Like if we take the creepy slow roll approach to that, I obviously don't stretch it out too long, but where it's not just boom zombies. Like
Yeah.
if we take the actual like horror approach to this,
Kind of how the
the type I like.
novelization of raccoons infestation starting was.
Sure,
It was
I think I read it.
I'm not talking about the Spencer Mansion incident. I'm talking the actual
When Raccoon-
infestation
right,
in
right, right.
Raccoon.
That's basically what happened there, wasn't it? Like it was some people
It was a few
just
minor things.
just out like in the alleyways and stuff
yeah,
like
and
that.
then someone got attacked, and then someone else got attacked, and then someone else got attacked, and then suddenly
I mean,
They
like,
were
because if we
everywhere.
do it same night, we're gonna end up running into the cliche like it's the alley behind the inn or the bar or whatever, and like the barmaid had to go out there to, I don't know, get to the cellar or do something, and then she gets attacked by that one zombie, and then that's how that starts.
yeah,
That's kind of, I mean, I understand what you were saying. Like, that's running really close to the cliche.
yeah.
But also, I mean, those came from good places too. There's a reason why they're there.
Yeah, it's doing them justice.
I mean, if we go intentional B movie, we can do it. If we're going for like legitimately taking itself seriously movie, then I think the slow roll, give
Would
it
be
some
better.
time. Maybe the zombie eats like somebody's.
Cow or pet cat.
I was gonna say cat, but I don't want to kill a cat. And also, that's still kind of like.
Okay, let's touch on that.
We
Do
grew up
they
in the
only-
'90s too much, so like we're way influenced by things like weird science and things like that.
Let's touch on that. Do they crave any flesh or just the flesh of humans, or do they crave flesh at all? Is this just a reanimated corpse?
Well, if it's just a reanimated corpse, like, are you suggesting that they're just finding food and whatever they can find food,
Yeah.
and it just happens to be people and living animals?
Yeah. Or are they driven by this silver lavender to go after
Maybe.
fresh flesh? That's why they don't attack each other.
Maybe they are. The alchemist is after perpetual life, right?
Yes.
He's after life.
Yeah.
He's trying to find the essence to life. Maybe that's what the zombies are after. Maybe they're just after things that are alive because they are alive because they have this they're gravitating towards it.
A sixth sense of
Okay.
sorts. Of sorts.
I understand that you like
they're drawn to living.
okay, but
entities.
but would we do like the Brad Pitt movie there what was it World War Z?
Yeah.
And they don't care for things that are dying?
In theory, then they wouldn't need anything because everything is slowly dying. But
I meant like the cancerous and
those who are
bleeding out and stuff like that dying. Like going to die before their age.
what
to
if
die.
it's not flesh that they're craving?
Souls? Do they want souls, David?
And no, it's gonna probably sound
Okay, what?
cliche-ish, but blood.
So you want vampire zombies.
Well, just
Zampers. You want Zampers.
what other?
If we call it that, we're going to have to go straight B movie and call it Zampers.
Well, just what else? What would be another suggestion then? Blood is
Brains doesn't really make sense.
considered, the life force of humans. That's what a lot of fantasy stuff.
Are you suggesting that the alchemist had blood in the mixtures?
Yeah, probably. Maybe he's been stealing royal blood, thinking that that's a part of a key. Because everyone believed royalty meant something.
Which is why the Duke's been ill, is because he's been thinning his blood with weak rat poison so that he can draw it.
Yeah.
Easily. Or whatever precursor to
We're
rat
making
poison.
this guy really fucked up.
Well, I mean,
already.
Are we? Or are we just making him medieval?
Oh. All right, so do we have? Is the alchemist the main character?
No. Do we have a main character?
That's where I was going with that. Is the alchemist
Should the main character be the first zombie up? We follow his path. Like, all right, so what if there's some small semblance of intelligence, distorted intelligence left in him, in the sense of he kind of like, I don't want to say subconsciously, but like sort of gets that he should not be alive.
Yeah.
And he's going after the source, but he doesn't know who the source is. So he's basically just attacking people in his way. Like, are we going to follow patient zero through this?
That would be one way we could do it. Or this one's probably a bit more cliche-ish.
Mm.
We could have it follow just one of the town's guard.
Oh, and just
he starts having to
I really like
investigate
this.
these
Being
attacks.
as Pontypool is one of my favorites. Like, that's really interesting to me because then we can go so long without him.
Coming
Like, we can
across
go over
one.
half the movie without him actually coming in contact with
But he's having
the zombie.
He's
But we could
fighting
also
the
we could also
attacks. He's
we could also split it amongst them so we still get zombie action.
yeah.
Like, so we can still see the patient zero zombie going about doing his thing, and then like
Kind of have a
I don't know if we could do that. I don't think we do that very well. Like, we could do nighttime. We're following zombies. Daytime, we're following the town guard,
Yeah.
and town guard's just basically slowly finding and understanding the pieces that leads him to zombie.
Yeah.
With or without the minute intelligence on the zombie. Without would still be potentially interesting. But like, he would have to be going somewhere for a reason, right? Like, even if he doesn't have the intelligence to know, ideally, conceptually, he would be going to the castle. Yes?
Conceptually, it'd be to the castle, but what if it wasn't? What if it was to his house? What if
Then we have a too
he
short
was
of a
trying
movie.
to go home?
I was thinking like
And
he's
his
trying to get to the
family-
source, or the person who owns the blood that's now in him.
That, which would lead him to the castle, and
Which would be, he'd be going after the Duke.
Which would give us some interesting, the potential for some interesting, like, zombies in the woods, hunter type thing. The hunter interaction.
I mean, we can go a little Walking Dead on it so much to make it just absolutely brutal.
I mean, just
in a lot of ways.
Like a
but like, so that's what I was
hunter
gonna say.
would be
Like, so anybody he bites becomes a zombie. Is that what we're going classic zombie on that? Like they'll eventually turn, or like, do they have to actually die, or is it just gonna be people who are already dead that get exposed directly to the chemicals? So it's just slowly more and more from the graveyard.
I like the idea of the bite, but here's a caveat to the bite. The silver, it all hinges on the silver lavender. Okay?
Okay.
Silver lavender is an anticoagulant.
Well, I mean, he's probably got an anticoagulant in whatever mixture he's making. It doesn't have to be the silver lavender.
I'm using the silver lavender because that seems
well,
to
right,
be
but
the
there's more than
linchpin.
just that in this mixture.
In this mixture. But
I mean, especially since it's like previous things as well as current things.
His bite, his saliva, and other bodily fluids.
You can't stop the bleeding. Is what
becomes an anticoagulant. So when he bites, they can't stop the bleeding. They bleed out. They die. They come back.
Okay. What about scratches and such? Like 28 days later.
No, I feel like it should just be bodily fluids. Like if he bleeds on you and it gets in your eyes or in your mouth,
drools on you.
It
gets connected to your bodily fluids in some way. Okay. So, like, we're going to have to make, like, these scenes will have to be very intimate in these situations for this to work.
Yeah.
Because if we do a lot of wide panel shots and, like,
really
distance stuff, it's going to be cheesy.
A really good wide panel shot could be, like, a group of them going through the woods, like, right at dusk. And at first, it's just trees. And then you start seeing some of the trees kind of shifting.
No. See, David, I love you, but sometimes the things you say are just cheesy 90s things.
I give an idea, and then you usually
modify it. Yeah.
I lay groundwork. That's all I really do.
You create the
I create the skeleton.
Well, okay. I was going to say, you create the clay, I mold the pot.
I make the skeleton. You add the flesh. That turned really creepy really quick. That's
why I stepped away from that, David.
Moving on.
I'm not the person you create babies with. I'm just letting you know.
Moving on. All right, so
because that's one of the reasons why The Walking Dead works so well.
Now,
it's because they're tight shots and they're intimate.
With the town guard, he's more than likely following patient zero.
I mean, to an extent, like he's going to show up late, right?
Yeah.
So he's not going to be there.
But will
he's going to be there, like say 2 days late? They've had one attack. Huh?
Will they be a wave behind him as he's following patient zero?
No, I don't think it's that close to following. Because most of, at least the beginning part here, we're talking about it being out of way. So, like, he's only going to be gaining a couple, like, the person he bites.
Yeah.
Which means somebody went missing, not somebody's dead.
Okay, yeah.
Unless, well, no. Hold on. If we go with your bleed out thing, then it's people who've been attacked. They don't turn the same day.
Yeah.
So it's people who've been attacked, not dead people. And because of that, he's got less evidence to work off of, especially since we're medieval detecting it. Like,
yeah,
we're already gonna have to write him as somebody who's smarter than
the average bumpkin,
the average trained person in his position. Even like he's gonna have to be better than that. He's gonna have to be.
So we're making Batman.
Well, no, I mean not like I'm talking. I was actually thinking like leader of the guards type of thing. Like he's smart enough to know how to plan and to execute into like plans.
He's seen some things, and he's got some
he
time
understands
on the
that there's more to
force?
situations than just I got attacked by a guy. There's things to look at to see what could have happened.
Did he say anything? No, he just attacked.
No, he just came up behind me. I didn't even hear him. Except for like I heard like a moan, like a grunt type of sound,
occurred, and then
I turned around and he just bit my arm. I pulled away, as you can see. It won't stop bleeding.
Get sent to the plague doctor.
Well, I imagine he was visiting them at the doctor.
Go to the...
Not a plague... not all doctors in the middle of times were plague doctors.
Yes, they were. All of them were. They all wore that creepy fucking face mask.
That's specifically for the plague because of the smell.
I know.
Yeah.
Would the wounds give off a smell?
An odor?
Not trying to make a reason for the guy to have the creepy plague mask.
I like it.
But that's a fair question.
Like, yeah, because it's gonna have to be identified as like there's gonna be a point where like the guy is gonna be like able to see a wound and be able to identify as
One
this
of
type of
those.
wound instead of a normal, so to speak, type of wound.
Yeah.
So I'm not away from that, but it won't be a very pungent smell. It'd be like a light smell of lavender.
That's what I was about to say. Do you have lavender here? What? No. Why?
Well, actually, they probably would at the doctor's.
No, but I mean, if he finds someone else out in town who's been attacked.
So this is it. So like, if the incubation we're looking at is, let's say, a week or until you die from bleeding.
Yeah. And it's not. I don't know how fast.
It wouldn't be gushing, right?
I don't know how fast the human bleeds out. Depending on the wound, I think it changes.
I don't know if I want that in my search history.
You have a reason. You can be like, this is why it was in there.
Or they would be like, or you made this episode because you have that in your search history.
Anyway.
We can look that up after the fact on my VPN.
All right, so
but yeah, so like we're talking like I said, I wouldn't be gushing, right? So
depending on where the bite was,
obviously,
like,
but
if
I
it
mean,
was
like
the throat.
Like if it's your forearm, more than likely he's not hitting one of the primary arteries.
If it's here,
that's going to make you just gush out.
It probably won't gush. If it's here, it will.
I don't know if it gushed there either. I know under here, or like on the inner thigh.
Trust me, I know how bad the inner thigh bleeds.
You can bleed out in seconds with that.
Yeah, I know.
So potentially, like depending on like if he gets a good neck bite or something like that,
like
he could end up with somebody new that night.
He takes the artery. It's
so
over.
So the other zombies are going to be drawn to him, and he's drawn to Duke.
To the Duke. I like it so far.
I like it so far too. Too bad we don't have the directing capabilities to make this the way. I'd watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's I think that's a good point. Like we can develop more story to it on another episode.
Yeah, let's just quick recap of what we have so far.
Sure. Alchemist is crazy using Duke for experiments, gets rare silver lavender, which we may actually have come and play later in the story too. There being more or something like that. Runoff from his experiments causes a guy who was just buried within like last month, so not much deterioration, to be reanimated. And he goes bar hopping after that, and then there's a town guard trying to hunt him down.
Okay.
I mean, is that not?
I don't know about the bar hopping part, but
Well, I mean,
sure.
he's a drunkard. He's just trying to get his game on and go play.
Well, I suppose that's the end of the episode.
Please like, comment, follow, and share. And also, more importantly, thank you for listening.
Take care.
Bye.